Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Monica, and I am sitting here waiting to get my CAT scan. I am here at the VA, and so I had to drink this solution, and I have to wait an hour before I'm able to get my scan. So I thought I'd just take a little time and I'll talk to the audience um, lots of information on guidance. Okay, so many of you all probably see me promoting these products, and you're probably like, um, why is Mo going hard body for sea moss smoothies? Like, what's the big deal? Well, let me just kind of give you a backstory. And so, the name of this live stream is Seek Guidance, and I'm gonna tell you why, and then I'll get into my testimony. All right. Um, it's too often and too many people who are suffering in silence. Okay, so we have a lot of people suffering in silence. I'm sitting here at a hospital, and I can assure you that the individuals who are coming up to appointments or who's here to see a doctor, they've taken a step. However, there's a lot of individuals who are at home, who are in the parks, who are sitting next to you on the job, who may be in your household, who is suffering in silence. Okay? And when I speak in reference to suffering in silence, I am I am not talking about those that you can really kind of see it, and put your hand on it immediately. All right? I'm talking about those individuals who are reserved, humble, seem to have it all going on, got it together, um, handling their business. Maybe they're working, maybe they're in school, maybe they have kids. Things seem to be organized and in order, right? Never, you know, but have some other underlining things that aren't being exposed, right? So, or it may be they may be dealing with the medical issue. So, so I'll share in reference to the medical side of things. Why? Because that's one that's dear to me because I suffered an injury, and the injury in return gave some extra joint pain, right? And initially, initially when the injury first when I first incurred an injury, I really did not seek any guidance on how I probably should go about caretaking for the injury. And so what happened, the first initial sign of me being healed, I just ran with it. In all actuality, I was damaging even a, a worse issue later. Okay. So here's what happens when you're dealing with anything medical and you're unable to maneuver as easy as you would normally do before. It starts to play mentally on your mind, and you start to think things, or you start to think about activity and engagements or involvements that you would like to participate in that you can't, or maybe maneuvering around your home and you can't do that anymore. And so what begins to happen is that you start to kind of drift away. Okay. And if you don't seek any guidance, any help, or if you don't have anyone to share with so that you are able to gather information to kind of pull yourself away from the dark space that you're probably going to end up in, Then what happens is it becomes built up anger and frustration and just withdrawal, isolation. You begin to not um, seek to be amongst anyone, or you just feel like, you know what, that's enough. I've had enough. I got a call on yesterday, and we have a employee who was dealing with I think it was cancer, and it got overbearing, and he was a veteran. Um, just got overbearing for him, and so now, needless to say, he's no longer here with us. What was keeping him active, working, things of that nature, was what he was encouraged to kind of not do anymore, and then not having an activity and sitting around. I can tell you, sitting at home and not being able to be involved with anything is not the answer. If you're sitting at home, like in my situation, I was at home, but I couldn't get out, right? Because I was in pain. I couldn't maneuver. And so, although it didn't take me far into the deep sea, it was mind boggling. And so, the first initial time I said, you know what, girl, you better get up. You got to get up and get out and move something, because you can't stay in this state. This ain't gonna work out for you. You're gonna this gonna put you in a place you ain't gonna want to be for the rest of your life. So, you know, luckily enough, I sought out help. Some people aren't. Some people just haven't found that help me. So what I had to do, I reached outside of my norm. Right? I reached outside of family and friends. I reached outside of individuals I did not know. Right? It was easy for me to communicate to a stranger than it was for me to communicate to family or friends. And it's not that family and friends weren't helpful. It's not that they weren't interested in helping. It's not that they turned off, okay, to help. It What it was that um I didn't know what to say, what to ask for, what direction to lead them in. So I had to seek subject matter experts who were dealing in the field of training and therapy and chiropractor and all of that stuff, so that they can pull it out of me, right? They can pull out the information, they can ask the questions necessary so that I can provide the feedback necessary to help myself. And so, because um a lot of your friends and family aren't in those fields, that you don't really know how to communicate with them. It's one thing to say my knee hurts and someone hands me a heated pad or some ice or icy hot or tiger balm or something of that nature. And it's another for me to tell a person, a trainer, my knee hurts, and they begin to evaluate and determine the type of exercise needed to strengthen it, or to go to a physical therapist and they analyze and do some trial and error stretching or exercises to correct the issue, or go to a chiropractor and they may take x-rays and they see where you may need to be adjusted. That's a whole nother ball game. Visit a counselor or therapy or psychologist, and they're able to either share educational tools or information that will support and help you, and kind of get you mentally thinking in the right direction. So when you're seeking guidance, It's not that you can't do anything yourself. It means that you have limited knowledge on your situation. And so you need a subject matter expert to assist you so that you can gain more info that will help you help yourself. So, too often we are, I don't want to say, well, I mean, it could be in secrecy, and it just kind of could be in an isolated state where we're making decisions and they're becoming critical to our life. And if that is and when that becomes the case, then the need is null and void, is no longer in existence because you're no longer here, right? And so, I mean, I say that to say this with all in sincerity, is that I gravitate to training because I know that training that I participated in jogged my memory to think about certain situations and certain circumstances. So, participating in um, all different styles of trainings gave me the understanding that to take some tools, put it in my toolbox, the information, so that someday if you come across it, that you will have it. And so when we talk about training up in the way they should go, so when they grow older, they won't depart from it. Well, the only way you could not depart from something is if someone has made you aware of it in the first place. Someone has exposed you to information so you know how to go back, grab that out of your memory bank, and then implement it and execute it forward. Okay? And so I can remember participating in consideration of others and sexual harassment and customer service and personality trainings and self awareness and inspirational and just all and reading books that not only uplift but trains and teaches you how to think on different skill sets, coping skills, and just building that knowledge base of things that you may encounter in life. And so, as you went through and you maneuvered through, then you're able to pull from that tool bank. But if there's nothing in your bank, then what are you going to pull from? And if you have nothing to pull from, you make decisions. And some decisions become critical. And so, um, when when it's critical, we know what that means. It's urgent, emergency, alert, alert, alert. Somebody to the rescue. But if you're by yourself, then who's gonna rescue you? You have to get to a point where you caretake your own trust. Everybody is not untrustworthy. Everybody doesn't mean you wrong or harm. Somebody out there can guide you in a direction or redirect your decisions by providing information, whether it's based on their experience or someone else's, or maybe information that they've observed, they've seen that actually works. So, what does that mean to me? Well, uh, I when I start partaking in the sea moss, when I actually decided to do it consistently, I found out that it was beneficial. It wasn't just beneficial because someone said it, that it was a superfood or it was an herb that was necessary to take and partake in your daily lifestyle. No, I actually endorsed in the product and started to feel different. Not feel like how some people like, I feel like, no, like my inner body felt some type of way. And how I know that, because when I would wake up, I would just go. I would just commence to move and be active. And so the CMOS, um, I began to add how often that I would partake in it. And then I really noticed, like, wow, this is really helping my inner body. Like, the 92 minerals that they say out of the 100 that the sea moss has, I'm like, wow, I must have been missing all 92 minerals in my body. Like, I wasn't getting no vitamins. Like, what happened? Where did it go? Well, when you just continue to live right, and you don't pay attention to your nutrition, and you don't pay attention to what you're eating, and you think that you could just continue to uh, down starches and sugars and uh, can these all these different things, and when I took a dietary class, right, and the lady used to always say, don't go in the middle aisle, shop on the outskirts, eat your vegetables, and it becomes cliche to us. You're like, I don't eat my vegetables. I eat some vegetables. So out of 3 meals out of the day, you get like one serving of vegetables, one serving of fruit, and the rest is high starchy items, foods that turn into sugar, and it's just tearing your body up. And so you visit the doctor like I am right now, right? And then they prescribe you medicines, and you taking the medicines so that it can help you, but then you go back home and you eat the same drama, you eat the same junk. And guess what? So you're canceling out all the medication that the doctor is giving you. You're canceling out. Just totally canceling it. And so therefore there's no balance. And you think, well, if I take the medicine, then I can still participate and eat what I want. And I can tell you that it doesn't work like that. You have to do a whole total transformation, total lifestyle transformation. So when you seek guidance and you're given a plan, you're given awareness on what's going on, what's happened, right? What's working, you you have to follow it. Listen, if you're stuck on what things taste like, then you're not serious about living. You're not serious about being healthy. You're not serious about wanting to come out of your situation. Your entire mental fact, your entire mental relies on you fueling your body. I get my results by, I'm always trying to cultivate a plant. When I tell you I kill those every time, because I'm not consistent. Because I'm not consistent. Not because I can't be, or I don't want to be, or I'm not able to be. I just don't. Why? Because I'm not taking it serious. It's the same thing with your body. When you're not taking your body serious, you're not fueling your body with the proper nutrition necessary, the proper vitamins and minerals it needs, whether you're getting it straight from the plants or you're using it with supplements. Let's talk about that, right? So you will go in the store and you will buy vitamin supplements. You will spend dollars on these items, and they don't do anything for you. Most of those vitamins, you're not really getting it, right? When you could take some sea moss, right, and boom, instantly, like not 5 weeks down the line, 6 weeks. They say, you got to take at least 6 weeks of it before you actually see its effectiveness. And the first thing you ask is, oh, that costs too much. Your life cost. I'm spending. Listen, I promise you all, because I did not pay attention to what was going on in my body. I'm on the right track now, but because I didn't pay attention to what was going on in my body, I had started to spend at least 2,500 a month just trying to get right. As soon as I stopped thinking about how much the stuff cost and actually start participating in what actually worked for me, I spend less. I spend less, well less. So much so that I'm able to help. I'm able to help sell it, you know. Because now, why? Because I can move around better. I have more energy. I'm looking, my skin feels better. I'm feeling better. And it's just a total overall health. And so I didn't even realize how it was affecting me mentally because I was so upset that I was injured. And it seemed like I couldn't get out of it. Well, I couldn't get out of the injury because I was continuing to feed the injury. I was continuing to, so it didn't matter how much I worked out, I ate junk. I didn't eat proper. And so because I didn't eat proper, my injury lingered. I've made the most progress in the last 80 days than I've done in the last 4 years that I was injured. That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's a problem because I wasn't seeking guidance, or the guidance was given and I was ignoring it because I didn't think it was important. And when you don't think things are important enough, guess what? You suffer in silence. I'm talking about the type of suffering you will tell nobody. I'm talking about when you leave away from your friends or that activity or that event for the day, right? And you go home, and when you get there, you drop your keys, you park your car, nobody sees you, and you cry. You just cry. You sit there and you wonder when, why, how, and it doesn't happen. Why? Because you continue to participate in the ignorance of bad food. Bad food. Point blank, period. It affects your mental thought. And if it's affecting your mental thought, guess what kicks in? Depression, anxiety, isolation, avoidance. Ah, ah. Oh man. Let me give you, well, I can't give you a link, but if you go to Dynamic 3D, not Shopify.com, you will see it. I'll post it at the end of the video. I'll post it at the end of the video, right? It is, man, listen, it is so important. Um and gosh, um oh my goodness, what was I getting ready to say? You need to get some for Nicholas. You need to get some for Nicholas. When I was at home, I forgot, I didn't even think about it because I didn't see him. But I would have gave Nicholas some. That will help Nicholas with his situation that he's dealing with. Oh man, I could go on and on and on. I can go on and on and on. But I'm gonna sign out right now because I gotta go inside and I gotta go to the bathroom. Anyways, y'all, listen, seek guidance, seek support, seek assistance, awareness, information, and even if it's not you at that time, you know, assist someone, support them. Go to events, go to conferences, listen in, right? Get books, share. Okay, you never know when you are needed or someone else. Be a support and be a friend. Peace.